Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am. Great. So, a very, very warm good morning to each one of you. Some 206 people who are logged in right now. Yes, it is a kind of a homecoming for me because almost more than 2 decades ago, I do remember ITS had played a very significant role in my journey. And I have always felt an extreme sense of gratitude for this institution. So when Sunil asked me that whether I can be there, uh, I just had to say yes. I have immense, uh, among the people who are closest to me, I still feel it is Chadaji, Pandey, Vikas, and all the people who has been as a Bhushanji, and of course, so many people. And it was such a pleasure to be in front of you, Mr. Sood. So it's an extremely emotional moment for me because every every place adds its own value. So yes, in my journey, this place has for sure added value, and I have a deep sense of gratitude for that. Okay, having said that, today I was asking why me because I'm essentially a professor of marketing. Now, of course, wearing the hat of an academic administrator as well, but teacher at heart. So, well, in a conference which is very technology driven. But I think when I really looked around as to what value I can bring to the table, I can bring discourses, I can bring conversations which kind of bring forth that if technology is not there, we're nothing. Like I may ask each participant, while Pandeji was mentioning VUCA, I remember 3, 4 years ago we used to say it is one of the most cliched, often repeated word. But frankly speaking, we have understood the word or the acronym VUCA only today. See, today every word resonates with us. We know what volatility is all about. We know what uncertainty is all about, complex is all about, and ambiguous is all about. Courtesy this COVID 19 era in which we are living. I think people who are even 90-year-old, they are saying that they have never seen the world like this. It started in December. We're going to reach September. There's no let up. And we don't even know, which is where we say uncertainty is now understood. Complex is now understood. Because as managers, as administrators, as leaders, we all are just like, very colloquial way, we say twiddling our thumbs and kind of wondering what next, until how, until when. So in such a scenario where for the first time, I think yesterday I was looking at the newspaper and there was a uh, very unhappy news, I would say, which was saying that some 5 million people have lost jobs in July itself. And this is going to follow, this is going to continue. Uh, we are talking about that after a long gap, we for the first time, like we knew that there are types of recession, V recession, U recession, L recession, but now, yes, we are actually witnessing, and we perhaps in times to come may witness for longer what we call it as pure structural recession. Uh, in such times, if I ask the audience, two questions: where is your money currently going? Out of, say, some 10,000 rupees that you're spending, where is the money going? And you would find it is a spectrum. At one end, you have bare essentials of life, like grains, cereals, food, all about agrarian products. And on the other side of the spectrum, I think most of our money is going in buying technology. So, in such a uncertain scenario, at one end we have the basics of life, and the other end we have technology. and both of them are almost equal. How I'm making this such a loud statement like almost equal? What if I take your mobile and your computing devices, could be laptop, could be anything, away from you in today's scenario? Then you would recognize that what exactly I mean, that how the entire consumption has actually come down to these three things. And when I said that, yes, there are some millions of people losing jobs, there are some major disruptions happening in the economy. I think one thing which purely comes out as a rescue, like I think sitting in educational institution, the lady who was introducing me was talking me about new normal. If at all there is a semblance of any normalcy, it's all courtesy technology. So never ever in the history of mankind we have understood the importance and the implication of technology. So it makes me very happy that at least uh, people who are in this space, they are converging in forms of these conferences, these platforms, sharing notes, sharing ideas, sharing conversations, because this is the mainstay. We are looking with so much hope and optimism. In fact, in such dark hours, if there is one shining light, one glimmer of hope, which we are looking up to, is towards technology. So, yes, each one of you, whether it is a BCA student sitting and listening to me, or it could be an IT professor, imagine the role that you have to play. And of course, the second word which was there, which was nation building. So, actually, the nation owes it to you today. If we get our act together, if we are able to uh, upgrade ourselves, solve these VUCA problems, solve these, issues which all of a sudden have come to us, uh, we look forward to you. So imagine the role that you have to play. And of course, no doubt about it, uh, we know that technology today is not only helping us in development, it is not just helping us in uh, having these sustainability as goal, it is not just helping us in communicating, it is not just helping it in decision making, it has actually to a large extent begun become what we call it as a reason for our existence. So in such a scenario where it is inevitable, where it is all pervasive, yes, we really really look forward. And which is where, like, I'm a marketing professor, I know that everything that is happening in today's scenario uh, is, is based on technology. So, only thing is what we have to be extremely cautious about, that like everything else in the world, this again could be double-edged sword. So, but that's one part we'll talk maybe a little later on. So right now, as my some of my learned colleagues like Pandeyji and everybody was talking about that, how the recent technologies or the recent innovations have actually made it possible. Yes, no doubt about it. Today, I can download something to the tune of gigabits in seconds. Uh, my computing devices are faster than ever before, and yes, whether it is social media or it is retailing, which is now becomes e-tailing, we for sure are completely talking in terms of the recent and the complex uses of technology. Even amongst youngsters, I see that all these TikTok stars or YouTubers, uh, the amount of name, fame, money that they achieve overnight is all courtesy technology. It used to take ages to become superstar. Now you have overnight superstars which are coming courtesy technology. So yes, across all these things, we keep hearing that how Internet of Things is helping. Uh, it yes, basically the first phase of internet was all about helping us in our intangibles. So whether it was through our for our emails or whether it was for our communication, it helped us around that. But the new internet, or I would say, uh, the current usages are now even embracing the tangibles. So the modern internet for sure is dealing also with our assets. uh, I I know for sure each one of us, you know, that all those valuable things which we wanted to protect and something which we could always touch and see, now these assets are for sure in a way stored in that encoded form on a network to network chain, what we call it as blockchain or a ledger. And for sure, it is making uh, our assets much more safer, our transactions much more transparent, and not just this, but even what we call it as decentralized blockchain for sure is going to change our life, the way we manage our assets, the way we use machines, the way we simple things like the way we're going to rent a car, the way we are going to, I would say, even prove our identities, like how we're going to prove who we are. So the way we bank, the way our financial institutions work, the way we lend money, the way we borrow money, everything, is going to be very, very different and very, very intensive. Of course, beyond Internet of Things, artificial intelligence is here to stay and is going to huge time, big time supplement and complement human intelligence. I would never agree that it would substitute human intelligence, but yes, it will big time supplement and complement human intelligence. We already seen a lot of high level cognitive processes like thinking, uh, even thinking, perceiving, learning, problem solving, things which we thought uh, were purely human domains. We now see very clear applications of artificial intelligence there. So all this advanced data collection, aggregation, analytics, computer processing power, all of it, yes, it's making definitely our lives much more simpler. It's enriching our lives. It is definitely enriching our workspaces. Machine learning, and although what we these days we call it as or we engage in what was called deep learning, for sure has made all this very, very accessible. So yes, we can go on and on as to how these different technologies are making our healthcare, our, like, why go further. Like, if I can, and since most of the people who are listening to me are youngsters, if I ask you, one of the most, I would say, like, I'm a marketing, so most of my examples are going to be from that domain. Like, if you see, one of the most awaited event was who would become the principal sponsor or the main sponsor for IPL. And did you notice all three companies? So whether it was the final company who got the award, which was Dream 11, but I think the one other two who had put in the bids were edutech companies like Byju's and an academy. So where are the Pepsis and the ITCs of the world? So these are classic examples that what is here to stay and what is impacting the lives in such a big way. So nobody had heard of Byju's till about 5 years or 6 years back, and today Byju's is bidding for IPL, which is one of the most expensive proposition in terms of sponsorships, which is currently available. So that just explains the way technology has been touching our lives. That just explains how every child uh, is using these edtech companies like Byju's and Academies and Khan Academies, and there's a whole plethora of them working in that space. And not just there, but uh, adding value to the lives of those students, those who are sitting at home, uh, nowhere to go, nothing to do, but just to interact with them, with those technologies which are available. So I think yes, as I say, like never before, it has become all important, all pervasive, all influential, and there is absolutely no way we can deny uh, all, all these artificial intelligence run tutors and online helps uh, is here to stay. The current generation for sure is learning very differently. Remember, in our times, our mother used to teach us how to cook, but today, whether it is tying the shoelaces or cooking in the kitchen, everything is actually available in form of a hack. And the children are not looking at parents or any other help, but just googling their stuff. So for sure, I think COVID-19 has just made it very up close and personal. It is just in the face. So every now and then we do keep hearing that the kind of projections which are coming based on all these technologies, everybody, like today, the $1 billion question is when will the vaccine come and how long will this last? And in both these answers, technology is playing such a sizable role. So uh, all the vaccine experts, they're completely dependent on new age technologies, as on the biochemistries and the biochemicals. And also, when will this finish? Everybody is applying all kinds of statistical and technological tool to come up with some kind of projection as to when the humanity will get rid of it. So, needless to say, and not just that, I think the way the doctors are treating, the way teachers are teaching, like I can take the case of my institution, which is IIM Bodh Gaya. Uh, Actually, frankly, to certain extent, we have evaded the impact of COVID to, and we have kind of established a new normal. So I guess our admissions were dot on time, courtesy technology. We started exactly the classes on the same date as we would have started earlier last year. Our classes are exactly going as per the schedule. Our exams are happening as per the schedule. And nobody else than technology to complement and pay respect for. So whether it is proctored exams or whether it is online platforms, we've done recruitment, we've done everything which is people can think of in an educational institution, and nothing has stopped. And I can imagine if you just take away the technology part of it, then everything would have come to a standstill. So today, if we can make a tall claim that in spite of a pandemic, we are actually operating with exactly the same deadlines, and not even a day of shift has happened, uh, all courtesy technology. So my example or my institution example is just an illustration that how going forward, even now and going forward, the only assistance or only solace or only thing on which we can bank on is technology. And yes, having said that, I often uh, I often hear this a statement that is it the same as brick and mortar? Well, especially since we are in a tertiary education space and we are in a different kind of pedagogical tools that we use, which is case based. For sure, I would say that uh, we would prefer a brick and mortar touch and feel also. So for sure, there is absolutely no way technology can substitute the real life classroom experience. So for sure, I think I'm so sure the 200 students who are listening to me or any other student who is sitting in the home, sitting in front of computer under the nose of their parents now for 5 months, is dying to be back in campus, dying to be in their own spaces, where learning is not just about cramming numbers or getting some information and knowledge. Learning is also about having networks. Learning is also about having conversations with friends, community. Uh, all that is very, very imperative. And as I say, more importantly, in a course where we deal in, which is management at a tertiary level. But even there, I would say that even when the world comes back to normal, we would still end up using a whole lot of technology. Uh, because, first of all, the biggest stumbling block which was there was the inertia towards embracing technology. And COVID for sure has pushed humanity to embrace it overnight. So you've seen it already, irrespective of the age groups. Everybody is there on using technology, whether it is to purchase groceries through online, or making financial transactions, having certificate like we don't store like today in the morning my PGP or my MBA office was asking, ma'am, should we do away with all the physical filing? I said yes, this is the time for us to completely graduate to digital formats. So, with NSDLs and CSDLs really helping big time, DigiLockers being a reality. And when we talk of, in fact, there's so many people who says that when the COVID has happened because human had become very, very cruel towards the nature. I think technology has a big impact even in terms of having more sustainable practices. So all the digitalization, imagine the amount of trees which we would save in return, and amount of land which would not be converted into high-rise buildings because of less usage of office spaces and less storage spaces and so on and so forth. So it is far reaching amount of, and it's such a heartening note, that when I see that IoTs and AIs are helping farmers finally. So, which is where, that technology would have a huge impact, even in terms of development, which is very sustainable. So, it is not just entertainment and communication, it is about a greener planet, a cleaner planet, a sustainable planet, something far better that we would leave for our generations. And I think uh, 10 years down the line, in so many ways, we would, to certain extent, thank COVID and its pandemic uh, for helping us march much more faster towards technology and what technology had to offer in making our lives uh, much, much better. And as I said, that even campuses like ours, for sure, we will not completely abandon everything which this phenomena has given, and especially in geographically challenged locations. I think this is a very beautiful way where we leverage it and we would have to take it quality also. So, without really missing the advantages which technology has for sure. So, as I see, uh, as always, whether it is education in pharma, cities, edtech, agriculture, medical, I think it's all pervasive. And once again, I think I must compliment each and every student who's sitting there, that they are in so many ways the warriors which will helping the world by upgrading, by making robots clean up houses, by having connected devices, by having so many different manifestations of IoTs and AI and machine learning. So a big thanks to you for all of you. We just hope that you would continue uh, to serve towards the nation, because I think yesterday, day before yesterday, one of my colleagues expressed his opinion that अपना काम अपने से करो, देश का हित अपने से करो. तो अगर आप सब just continue to upgrade it and make it available for the benefit of the larger humanity, the nation will just prosper and the nation would just develop, and there is no stopping. In fact, in so many ways, it's already doing. Like, I have a very simple and a beautiful, learned a very beautiful definition of corruption over years, and which is again for a developing country like ours is one of the biggest stumbling block in our development. And I feel corruption is something uh, which happens when we place ourselves before the nation. Simple. So, whenever a human being or a one person places self before the nation, corruption happens. And I think uh, today's governance, be it a corporate governance or the government, uh, the union and the state, it is far more transparent, far more accountable, far more agile, courtesy technology. And I don't have to give you examples. We all know it, that whether it was our driving license or passport or whatever, income taxes, it's far more transparent, far more agile, far more flexible, courtesy technology. So with the better implementation and with the kind of technologies which are the best suited, over years, it will just and just help us become a far stronger, far better, far sustainable as a nation. So thank you so much to the entire ITS team